Talk about that. Let's talk about the issue. Let's talk about something like a natural disaster. Let's say the tsunami, right? Haiti. We say the tsunami. Let's talk about Haiti, right? Count a lot of people died during that, right? Now, was that an evil act?
No.
It wasn't an evil act. It was a natural disaster. You still had the loss of life. When the Twin Towers fell, right? Let's say that was a natural disaster.
No.
Would that be?
No.
No. Why was it evil? Why was it evil?
Because somebody did it.
Yes. Yes. There was intent and purpose behind that through the loss of life, right? We do not say a natural disaster is an evil disaster because there's no intent behind that.
I think I know where you're going with this.
I mean,
I see somewhere with this. That's all I'm saying.
But I'm gonna just throw it out there and make it complicated, like Katrina.
Yeah.
Now, wait.
No,
There's
but
actually somebody behind. Well, it could have been. Though it was a natural disaster, it could have been prevented. And then I think they did a.
Yeah.
But
like if you see where the levees broke, right? They do a lot of like science behind why that happened, why they knew that was going to happen, things like that.
No, but you can't look at it as like it could have been prevented. Yeah. Like, let's say that the levees wasn't there at all. It would have been a lot worse. You know what I'm saying?
It could have been prevented too.
Still would have been drained out.
Yeah, but see, here's what. Then we want to open up the floor for all this discussion, right? But here, this is what I'm talking about. There's a lot of symbolism in the thought dimension. Remember when Lewis was in the Museum of Horrors and everything like that?
Wait, now
And he saw all of that vicious stuff in them glass things.
Okay, wait. Museum.
In the first one.
No, in the first book.
It's in the first book towards the end. Remember that he's in that museum and he's like have to fight off like all these different.
Yeah, after he met the Crims, he was walking.
Oh, I remember now.
Everybody open up.
I thought it was a mausoleum.
God.
Excuse me.
I'm bugging. Yes.
No, ask me. When you don't know a question, ask me.
Wait, it was a museum?
He wrote the book.
Yes, it was a museum.
Right?
I thought
He wrote the book, so he
I'm bugging. I thought you got the words wrong. I didn't know.
Okay, hold on. Everybody get to your books. Open up the Walter's World book. All right. Lewis pretty much zoned out as he walked. He was tired and still had no idea how to get home. And he could have sworn that he saw something move in one of the empty boxes. He turned to look at it directly, but nothing was there. Lewis chalked it up to being tired and continued to walk. Once again, he saw something. He was sure. Dark figures, quick actions out of the corner of his eye. Lewis leaned closer to the peculiar box and scrutinized the interior. He got so close that he could see the condensation of his breath on the glass. Lewis stared and stared. Nothing. Lewis blinked and continued to stare as if it were being developed. Lewis began to witness, ever so faintly, a moving image. Not clear, but becoming into focus. Lewis once again breathed on the glass, wiped it, and looked harder. He squinted and looked even harder, so hard that he wished he had not. What came into focus was something a child should never see, nor anyone for that matter. A woman was using a knife to do unspeakable things to another woman while demonic children watched. Lewis jumped back in terror, but not before the murderous woman threw what had to be a body part of her victim at the glass in front of Lewis's face. It hit the surface hard, splattering redness. The two children and the woman, still clutching the knife, rushed the glass wall. They beat on it viciously, trying to shatter it. Escape, attack the child. These thoughts tore through their ravenous minds. Lewis had never seen such maniacal looks on the faces of children before. They could not get at him, but their hate-filled eyes attacked him as he had never been attacked before. Then the women and children were no longer at the glass. They had returned to the same bloody deed that they had been committing when Lewis first looked into their box. They were like a recording that had been rewound and restarted. Lewis wanted to vomit and fell to his knees. While down, he sensed what was all around him. He did not have to look, but he knew the contents of all the glass cases. Within them were the worst acts imaginable. Acts against men, women, children, and animals. Acts against the human spirit. Acts against God. Acts too evil to speak of. Acts too horrid to think of. Acts that Lewis was forced to bear witness to. Okay, now, does anybody know why I've said I had all of that going on in the thought dimension?
Like, in the thought dimension, anything is possible. Like, the worst thing that you could possibly think of, the most inhumane act, would be physically right in front of you. And it's like, it'll be so real, like, you could feel it and everything, but it's in it, like, I don't know why, but it's like, but it's not real, though. It's it's so real. Like, to me, when I was reading it, it sounded like a video game, like one of those video games that's so real that it shouldn't be real. Like,
When it goes back to math.
See, that's the whole thing is, this is my concept, this is my interpretation, right? Of the thought dimension, right? Any idea that you have has to exist in some type of space. That thought is your mind, right? And in your mind, it is a reality of a sort, right? Now at one point in time, Marvelous World was an idea. It was a thought. I, through work and everything, was able to pull that out of the thought dimension and turn it into a physical reality.
Which is in our dimension.
In our dimension. Now, someone behind 9/11, Osama bin Laden, whoever, right, had a thought that resided in one of those boxes. You know? And so they turned that thought into a reality.
You get it now?
Well,
because you said, like it was like,
But it was his intention to do an acting.
Yeah, but it all started off as a thought. You can't do anything without it.
Yeah, but I mean, like, the thought is there, so it's in, like, that box, and it's, like, it's all of a matter of, like, going through the steps of making,
like,
because I was not talking just now.
Wait, go ahead. No.
So it's like, see, now give me 2 seconds. Okay, so, like, that thought, or, like, what you're thinking is in that box, but then it's a matter of actually working towards of making it happen, and so then that's, until that happens, it just remains in the back of your head, right?
Exactly, that was it. And now, that comes into, that came into the whole premise of the reason why there was a Galanius. It wasn't just that he was in the thought dimension, it was allegorical to say, evil, well, there's a line in it, evil only exists in the heart and soul of men. You understand? Like, all those acts that we spoke about are not evil actions, as far as, like, Haiti, the tsunami, and everything like that. It is our intent that brings about and creates evil. You understand? So, and I mean, like, that's what it was. That was the symbolism of Galanius being trapped in the thought dimension.